Testing. Testing. So, this is your host, Steve from the back. If you're not familiar to this channel, I don't even know if I should really... You know what? This rant is going to be a rant that is somewhat... I'm just giving you a warning. I'm giving you a trigger warning. There's a lot to so-called unpack, as they like to say now. They always talk about there's a lot to unpack in this film. There's a lot to unpack in this rant, and I don't even know where to start. I do not know really where to start in this rant, because there's a lot that I'm gonna have to say. All right, as always, and I really hope this audio is not like completely messed up. So this channel, I'm just going to give you a brief idea of some things. So on this channel is basically in the process, I'd say, of becoming a fun and a recreation channel. This channel is supposed to give you ideas. Now, this channel is supposed to give you ideas about your, how do I say this? Oh my god. Just bear with me, please. Like, I know you want me to be all smooth but literally there's so much that I'm really trying to get out in this video to try to, talk about that my mind is not exactly so well versed in just like laying things out in a format that you can follow so easily. I apologize, but that's the truth. So this channel is basically supposed to give you fun ideas. That's the simplest way I could explain it. It's supposed to give you fun ideas. It's supposed to give you a different perspective on maybe how you see certain political views, maybe how you see legal views, actually. Sometimes I'll talk about things that have to do with, like, how do you, like, I know what the law is, right? Obviously, we know what the laws are. But what's your opinion? Like, how do you feel about that, right? That's what this channel kind of is. This channel is a channel that gives you ideas in, let's just say, unconventional or not so popular opinions. It gives you an outlook on not so popular types of opinions and ideas, and some ideas that maybe showcasing things, and they're things that are already common. But fat chance, I mean, just keeping it real. Usually it's something that's not exactly so normal that you're going to probably see at some point or hear me talk about on this channel. So a little bit about me, I usually go by the name Steve on the channel. This channel's called Steve's Art and Fun, and one little thing about me is that I'm the type of person that usually things that I tend to say, I don't talk a lot. I usually don't speak a lot. I speak on this channel because this channel, part of it is ranting on certain things, so I have to speak. But in person, I'm not generally a person that talks a lot at all. And I just really don't like to. So, just getting that out of the way. But normally, when I do say things, it tends to have a weird effect. It tends to be like you ever seen the movie Django? I know you guys have seen Django. Django says something and everybody looks at him like, did you really just say that? Well, that's me, okay? Just getting that out of the way. So people always, it's always something that people, it just usually doesn't sit right with people when I say something. I really don't care, I'm just explaining that, I just have a different opinion on a lot of things that people tend to commonly have opinions on. I'm also a Satanist, so it's already weird already. I'm a Satanist. You know, I'm a young Satanist. I'm actually young in my path to ascension, in my journey in learning about being a Satanist, right? So it's already. I'm trying not to curse on this. I'm really gonna try to keep this clean because I'm trying to like steer this channel in a kind of different direction and not be so. Well, I want to keep it the same way that it is, but I just don't want it to be so harsh that like maybe it would get me in trouble. Maybe someone of a certain age couldn't watch this because the language is just too coarse. And I have a dirty mouth. I have to say that. Like, I have a very dirty mouth, so just saying. Okay, so now I'll get to the point. Now, I've been watching YouTube lately, and I see these strange videos of these TikTok creators. And these TikTok creators are people of color. Obviously, you know what I mean when I say that, right? These people of TikTok are highly melanated people, right? I'm trying not to really say black because I don't know if it's gonna. I don't really know what's gonna happen if I say black. I'm black myself, but the thing is this: I really don't understand why the internet seems to be so sensitive about a lot of stuff during this current time, and it seems like you know, a keyword, if you put black, this or that, or you put white or this, some type of, you know, you may get some type of adverse consequences, and I don't want that. So I'm just saying these are black creators like myself. But one thing I feel is odd about these black creators. Now, I could sit here and complain and talk about all the times where I felt like my race was the determining factor between me finding a girl, between me being found attractive by some girl, between someone looking at me as a better job candidate, or maybe not a good job candidate. I could say that I was fetishized by a human being or human beings before for being a black male. I could just sit here and crybaby about a lot of stuff, right? Like anyone could, right? But my whole point is this, right? I don't really see what's the point in crybabying about the fact that, you know, someone didn't give you credit for your work, and then a supposed white person. I say supposed because first I have to ask the question, is this person even really Caucasian, right? I'm like, you know, then I also have to ask the question, like, if this person is a Caucasian and then they got credit for your work, you being the black male or female or whatever you are, is it the reason why they got credit for your work is did they do it better than you? Are they more attractive than you? Or both? Or is it that the person that stole your work, that did your dance or did your this or copied your this or that, could you ever maybe think, and I'm not saying this in any type of way, like this is not a condescending way, this is not like trying to say this some haha, did you, gotcha, no, this is just me like proposing a possible possibility, because I find this whole thing very perplexing. Okay, I find this very, very strange, very perplexing, and I really don't understand it, because I'm trying to think like, okay, so is it that we all know people have a preference, right? It's like for instance, someone may find, I'll just name a random celebrity, like a white person and then a black person. Someone may find Hugh Grant incredibly boring, right? They'll be like, he's so boring, I don't want to see no Hugh Grant. I've seen all types of smooth talking, so-called handsome, because everyone's opinion has their preference, some so-called handsome white man that talks smooth and is this and that and whatever. But some woman or man, even if they're gay or whatever, someone will be like, nah, I want to see Will Smith because I want to see a black man, a light-skinned black man. I want to see him do that. Like, no, I want to see him in a role. I want to see him as the lead. I want it because that's more interesting to me. Like, this is more holding my attention more, right? It's holding my attention more because it's hitting a nerve that, like, I just don't get that from watching Hugh Grant or whatever this guy's name, or Hugh Jackman or whoever, right? Now, that's only one person, right? So that's one person. Now the question you have to ask is, how many people versus that person likes the Caucasian and the other one likes the Negro, being Will Smith? So I'm laughing because I don't really understand it, and I'm not going to claim that I do understand it because I really don't. I'm just going to say that I have an idea. I think what's really going on is that I think people find it more this is just my opinion, and maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I believe that people know already. It's like they know we're Negroes, right? We're Negroes. Duh. Like, duh. We came up with all the vernacular. We came up with the slang. We came up with the ebonics. We came up with all of our versions and tweaks of slang and language, and you know that's our we've always had that. Whatever, right? Everyone is seeing that, right? But maybe some people, like people talk about the TikTok with the, people using supposed black accent, and TikTok people using our vernacular and yada yada whatever. And I'm thinking, like, maybe the reason why that sells so much is because people maybe they just can't get enough of it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe them seeing these white Caucasian teens they're mostly teens, I would imagine. But maybe people are seeing I'm probably talking too close to the mic. Forgive me. This is my first time using this mic for real. I'm trying a new way of recording audio, so I'm sorry if it sucks. Just putting that out there. But what I was saying was, maybe people just can't get enough of seeing these Caucasians. It just sounds funny saying it. Seeing these Caucasians do these black things. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the real charm of it. I don't really know. I really can't say. Maybe it is also, and I'm not saying this trying to say this in a negative way, but I'm just going to say it real. If you know about this channel, I hold no punches, and I just say how it is. Let's be real, right? A lot of people are going to look at the original creator of some of this stuff, right? Let's just say, for instance, it's a black girl or a black male, right? They see this black person, right? They see this Caucasian person. Half of the time, this Caucasian person, especially if it's a female, that has covered this black person's material and repackaged it. Even now, I will say this: I don't agree any bit with them not giving the person, the originator, credit, because you should always give someone credit if you're going to just parody whatever they did, or not parody it, but whatever you want to call it, repost it. Whatever. Now, some of these girls, you look at the girls that redid their thing, and it's like it's no contest with the looks. It's literally like now I could say this: if you're some black female or male and you are just looking so attractive, it's very hard for, like, if you are so above average is what I'm saying, it's very hard for someone to just steal the spotlight so easily and take the attention off of you. But if you're already average, and I mean on average in the dating realm, just usually Caucasian women are more attractive, or rated more attractive in that spectrum. People my whole point is this: people like to see what they want to see, right? And I think it would be far more captivating to most people to see said supposed more attractive white woman, especially woman, but it could be white man, whatever, over the Negro that originated the crap my whole thing is this, is that most likely it's a low percentage chance that they're going to pay more attention to the Negro that actually made it. And the sad thing about that is this, and I'm not saying it like whining, because I'm going to keep it real. A lot of you black women, you're just whining, man. You're just whining. That's all you're doing. You're whining, and you're starting to look. How do I say this? It's not a good look. It's like you're begging. It's like you're begging. It's like you're begging. Like, oh, someone has to see. Look. The point is this: if enough people really wanted to see you, they would pay more attention to you. But the way this world works is that people, like I said, people have preferences. People want to see what they want to see. They want to hear what they want to hear. And it just so happens that, like, a lot of people are just very, very, very captivated by seeing some white chick, some attractive white woman that's probably more attractive than the creator of the thing, the original, copy their crap and then do it over and do it over, right? Now, that's not always the case either. It's really not, because I'm pretty sure a lot of these Caucasian girls that are copying these black creators are less attractive than the creator, but that's just usually rare. It's just rare. You know, it's just very rare. You know, and I think what the thing is that us as black people have to be just realistic and be honest with ourselves, you know, because at the end of the day, and I'm going to say this again, things work a certain way. I'll give you an example, right? So if you were to go to a country where it was more liked that people had more piercings, right? Like certain places are in other parts of the world, like way off other places, right? Most people are going to be very captivated by all of your adornments. They're going to be captivated by the nose ring, the this ring, the that ring, the gauges, and all that, right? Now you come somewhere like here, it is not so captivating. It is not so widely liked and it captivates people. It to any effect, actually, it is kind of more off-putting, because they're like, you look freaky. I've almost cursed, but you know, I'm trying to keep this clean. They're like, yo, you look freaky. Like, you got holes in your ears, you got a lip gauge, you got a septum ring, you got eyebrow rings, you got rings all over your face. You look like a coat rack with rings on it. Like, you look crazy. What's up with that, right? They're not going to say that to you, but they're like, so my whole thing is this, man. That's the same way people are with looks. If your looks are not what they like or that captivates them, and I've talked about this before, they're not gonna pay you much attention. It's just the way it is. It's just like, for instance, a lot of people, and I'm not trying to say this in a bashing, jealous way, but I'll just be real. It's just like how there are so many women out there that, let's just say hypothetically, they're not attracted to black men, because most of them are. Well, usually people tend to be, if they're white, they're usually attracted to whites, and if they're black, they're tend to be more attracted to blacks, and so on and so forth. But what I'm saying is, now let's just say hypothetically, the stereotypical white woman that is only attracted to white males. I've said this before. She will want all of the black influenced cultural aspects in a white man. Like, she'll want to date these Eminem and Machine Gun Kelly types, because outwardly, yes, you can look at them, there's no doubt that they are Caucasian. But then they have the plus of having all the slang and all the style and all the Negro attributes. Like I said before, they may even really know how to handle themselves like a real G, and may even have the whole package, right? And all that. They may even be a real gangster. I don't know. But the point is this, is that if she already is attracted to white men more, and they also and she's like, oh man, he doesn't even have the looks that I don't like from the Negroes, but he just has all the culture. So to her, that's going to be so captivating that she's gonna be hooked. She's gonna be hooked on that. I talked about this before, right? And I was brutally honest. I said, like, man, I'm a guy to where, am I attracted to black women? Yes. It depends on the black woman. But am I usually much more attracted to white women on a more consistent basis? Like, do I lean towards, as they say, white women much more? Yes. So I was talking about, man, it's when there's a white woman that, not necessarily saying that she's so much like a black woman, but at least to the point to where she's understands us as Negroes, just as a whole. When she understands us so much, or even to a point to where she's been influenced by us to so much of a point to where it is almost second nature to her to behave similar or the same in some instances to the way that a black woman would be. To me, it's just it's even more of a huge plus, because it's like, oh, so there's not much and I'm going to say another part to this, but the first thing I'm saying is it's a huge plus because there's not really a lot of things that I have to... It's like there's not a lot of, like, secrecy there. It's more like, okay, she gets it. she's already, for a lack of a better term, I'll say she's already versed in the ways of the Negro. Okay, she already knows. I don't have to teach her anything. She doesn't have to try to go out of her way to talk with my mom and spend time with my relatives and stuff to try to understand, like, well, from a black woman's perspective, like, what's this, and like how to understand the essence of the woman that birthed me. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't have to do that because she's already somewhat of that. Like, she already understands a lot of things. Maybe I don't know, maybe she could have even grown up around black women or black people in general. But at the end of the day, would I probably choose a average to probably less attractive black woman over her? Hell no. No, of course not, because that's not my preference. That's the thing. My preference is white women. Inevitably, the highest percentage is going to be a white chick. It is what it is. So, my point is this, right? People, and someone will say, well, what does this have to do with anything? This is about sex. Everything is about sex. I'm sorry. The secret's out, bro. The cat's out the bag. Just saying, the cat is out the bag. Okay? So I'm trying to keep this clean. I'm trying to say this very, like, proper, very slow. Try to explain this to you in a very intelligible manner so you get what I'm saying. But, look. Everything is about sex. Everything has always been about sex. It will continue to always be about sex. If it wasn't, we wouldn't be born with sex drives. Okay, when you get old and crusty and dry, and you get, the floppy wee-wee and you're old as a man, and you get the dry punani as a woman, I'm sorry, guys, that's not a curse, but that's the way I'm saying it. I like to call it that sometimes, so that's the way I just want to say it. So, when that happens, right? When that happens, it's probably not about sex for you anymore. Maybe you're married if you're lucky at that point, and and it's not. But look, for all of us who still have the rabbit drive and the Energizer Bunny and all that, and for like guys like me, and women like me, people like me, it's always been about sex, and it will always continue to be. Like, the reason why is because self-preservation and sex drive are the strongest things in a person, really. That in your desires and passions. By desires and passions, I mean like your hobbies, your things like that. And also your emotional aspect of yourself, like your need to have a wife or husband or whatever your need. Those are the strongest things in a human being. You have to understand that, right? And probably for some people, your need to have children, to actually breed actual children into this world and pass down your legacy and all that. Those needs are so strong. I've said this before. Those needs are so strong, and it's natural. This is natural. There's nothing wrong with this. It's actually natural and healthy. Those needs are so strong in us human beings that is why we go to wars. That is why we work as firemen and almost die. That is why we work as cops and law enforcement and military, and we actually do die. That is why we put ourselves in situations where both as male and females, we literally look death in the face, right? That's why. Because we have things we're fighting for. It's not just like we're like, oh, this is cool, man. I just want to experience extreme action and thrill, and I'm just a thrill jockey and want to put my life in danger. No, it's because we have an end goal, and we realize that like we can possibly meet that goal through these means. We live to live in our luxury and have the things we like, and we live to have our needs met, especially our sexual needs and other type of needs, right? Duh. If it was a secret, I'm sorry. Well, the secret's out. That's what this channel is about too. I always talk about, the cat's out the bag. This channel pulls no punches because this channel is not for soft people. This channel is not for weak people. I despise weakness. I despise nonsense. I despise foolishness. The effery, as they say. that's my favorite one. But I'm not gonna say that because I'm trying to keep clean. The tomfoolery. We don't play those type of games on this channel. This channel keeps it 100. This channel keeps it absolutely 100% real and just pulls no punches. So I'm going to say this again. Don't cry, baby, because people don't want to see your content. Either find a way to make something that is so captivating that people are going to give it its supposed due credit, or you just gotta roll with the punches, man. I'm sorry to say that, but that's the honest truth. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example, right? Now, I don't care. How do I say this? I wouldn't care if I was like the top, like a superstar singer. I wouldn't care if, like, let's say if I could sing. If I could sing and I was like, better than all of these people, better than this guy, better than that guy, I would know that like my voice may be that good, but I know that my looks would never be able to top some of these people. And I would already be real enough to admit that like a huge percentage, especially if they're Caucasian compared to myself, I would already know that my looks are not going to be so desired that it is going to how do I say this? It is going to just mind sweepingly just not like no, it's not, because I know like how people generally what they like it just doesn't it just doesn't work like that. So it doesn't work like that for me. You get what I'm saying? So I'm sorry that people don't want to admit, because I feel like this is the elephant in the room that just no one wants to talk about. People don't want to admit that yes, people's eyes are very sexual. Yes, all of us are all about sex, and that's all this crap ever was about. Yes, like I'll say this again. I'm getting angry at it. I'm starting to actually get angry. If you didn't know this about me too, I'm gonna put it out there. I am kind of I'll just call myself a rager. I'm kind of a rager. If you don't know, like I'm kind of trying not to bite this microphone because I'm getting a little pissed off, and I'm starting to want to yell right now because I'm really getting mad. Because what annoys me is that okay, so I'm sorry. Black women are not dumb. Okay, white women are not dumb. Generally, human beings that are adults are not dumb. So I know you can't actually believe that it's not because it's about your looks and it's about marketability in a broad spectrum. Because I'm telling you, I'm sorry. Like for instance, a young girl, I don't remember her name, so I can't even say her name, but a young girl came up with a certain dance, and I seen this young girl, right? Now, am I insulting the girl's looks? No. Is she like hideous? No. But is she just an average? Is she just a kind of a, run of the mill little black girl? Yes. It's like, so do you really think that if you make a dance, do you think that you can actually really compete? Like, yes, you made the dance. Yes, you should get your credit and your props. Yes, but do you really think you can compete? Because competing's another thing, and you got to think, in the entertainment industry, it is so brutal. It is as brutal as you could have something that you think was as good as sliced bread one day, and then tomorrow, if someone makes something even marginally better, well, then that thing could blow you out the water, and you are just, I want to say ASSL as I normally like to say, but I'm gonna say you lose at that point, right? So I'm sorry. You got to understand too your age. You're only 16 or 15. How old are you? 15, 16? You're not. Your body's not even developed. Like you are a child. Do you really think that? You know how many eyes are on TikTok? All type of our eyes are on TikTok. Just saying, so you know, right? So I'm kind of, I'm kind of like, I hate to say it, but I'm almost like incriminating my own self, right? I don't even look at TikTok anymore because to me TikTok is just too much of a tease. I like all this, what do they call it, Big Bank Challenge and all this. I'm like, man, it's depressing because I'm thinking like, well, the way my life works, I can't necessarily be out there looking for women. So all that, what do you call it? All that, frustrating visuals, all these, women that are young women, older women. They got the sexy older women. They got all these insanely hot types of females on TikTok that it is just depressing to me at the end of the day. And honestly, to me, it just seems like a straight up thirst trap and a fap trap. If you ask, that's all it is to me. I'm like, I don't even want to, like, if I'm on TikTok, man, all that's gonna be is me probably. Well, this is my channel, so I'm just gonna say it. If I'm on TikTok, all I'm gonna probably be is like fapping in the next half an hour or something if I'm scrolling through all this TikTok, because that's all. It's too sexual. Someone's like, "Did you really just?" Yeah, I just. Yes, I just said that. You're lucky I can't smack you through the screen for even asking a dumb question like that. Jesus. It's like, so my whole thing is this, right? My whole thing is this. Now, maybe you're incredibly dumb. Because I've heard some people, I've even heard this one black girl herself say, it's not because of dating politics or whatever. Like, yo, it is because of dating politics, you fool. Like, what are you talking about? Everything is because of dating politics. You gotta understand, if everything wasn't because of, like, dating politics, or everything wasn't, and this is almost actually kind of satanic what I'm telling you right now. If everything, but it's true, if everything wasn't really about sex, why is it that celebrities always have to be so attractive then? Did you ever think about that? Why is it that on every cover of every magazine, people tend to have more idealized visual aesthetics? Right? I love saying that word, aesthetics. It sounds funny. It's like, so why is it not saggy man boob dudes on the cover that have like bellies and rolls and skinny legs, and then they got a belly, and like, why is it not like average, below average, ugly, like sloppy looking dudes on the covers of magazines, if the standards are not supposed to be sexually and aesthetically pleasing to someone's eye, right? Same for women. Why is it not like these snaggletooth women that literally have insanely large muffin top upper halves, the supposed Mexican back fat syndrome, linebacker shoulders, and then these puny legs that store the fat in all the wrong places? They don't have the big ass, they don't have the hips, they don't got the hourglass, they don't have the Greek hips that are so wide on the sides that it looks like it's coming out from the side. You can see the booty from the front type of look. Why do they not have all of that going on? I mean, the whole point is, why do they not show those women busted, like I said, chicken legs in a muffin top with no butt? Why is it that they don't show that on the covers of magazines, but on the magazines, no? What do you see on the magazines? You see the hourglass figure. You see all of that, right? The ass, the hips. I didn't want to say ass, but I said it. It's hard not to say. Why do we see the beautiful looking visual of a person on a magazine? Because everything is about sex, you fool. It always has been. It's just that people are idiots. That's what it is. It's because you guys are retards. And I'm sorry, but I wanted to. I tried to be nicer with this channel, but you people are weaklings. You are weaklings. You are slobs, and you are weaklings. You are sniffling, slobby weaklings. You're worms. I'm sorry, but you're maggots. That's what you are. You are. So that's what it is. You're brain dead. You're weak, and you're maggots. And when you don't get your way, then you start begging. And I hate it when people beg. When you start, this is how I see this, right? When I see content creators beg, I cringe. I cringe. Do not try to. I'm going to say this. Sorry, but look, do not try to make racially charged organizations, groups, and crap to band together to beg, literally almost beg people to view you and to give you your credit or this. Just don't do that, because the whole point is this: if they wanted to give you what they thought you deserve, what you think you deserve, you would have it already. That's how this world works. You would already have it. I'm telling you, that's how it works. And if you don't believe me, you could do an experiment, right? You could say, well, put the unattractive male or female in the bar setting, and they don't get noticed because they're so just regular. They're actually below average. They're almost invisible. Put the super attractive guy that has, his little tight shirt on, where, his shoulders, his pecs are popping, his arms are out, you could literally almost see that he has a six-pack through his dang shirt. You put one of these type of model-esque, fitness-esque dudes in the bar. It's literally like half every woman that comes into contact with him is trying to flirt with him. You know what I mean? If they're not trying to flirt with him, they're looking, right? Same thing. You put the super attractive woman in there. She got, her friggin' what do they call those pants? The flare pants on? Yeah, she's got the flare pants on. She's got flare pants on. She's got the crazy booty. She's got the hips and all that. And, you put that type of chick in there, right? With the model-esque face, but the porn star body. You put her in the bar. I'm telling you, even some women are probably looking, because you know how half of you people nowadays, you're all bisexual. I'm just gonna have to call you out because you are. I'm not. But you people out here are just bisexual now. It's not even, it's like the cat's out the bag. I already know your game. You guys are bisexual and everything else, and queer and all this. So you all are looking. Y'all are looking. So that's the elephant in the room. Like I said, the ugly Betty, with the big back fat, the square body, the muffin top, and no booty. Nobody's looking at her. Nobody's looking, because it's like, what's that? That's actually a little gross. You may want to cover that up there. You know what I mean? The ugly dude that has, no chin, weak chin, no jawline, and a dad bod. Nobody's looking at that. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody, even the gay dudes at the bar, the desperate gay dudes, aren't looking at that guy. They're like, nah. They're like, just nah. Like, matter of fact, they probably had better than that last week. They probably got someone on the side that looks better than that they had like last week, yesterday. So nobody's looking at that. It was always about sex. And someone's gonna say, so what does this have to do with black people? What it has to do with is two things. It has to do with that, number one, you're what's the word? I'm trying to think of not systematically. You are, on average, like with the numbers game, you are probably less attractive on the scale already by default. And then, on top of that, right? Like, on top of that, like I hear people say, oh, undeniably, the girls that are undeniably black. Undeniably black. What, the unattractive ones or the attractive ones? Because that's my question. My question is this. It's like that. Let's say if some girl is like undeniably black, like, does that mean that she's just clearly Negro? Or does that mean that she's just a very unattractive or very average looking Negro woman? That has all the features that generally are just not deemed attractive. Like, not only just the complexion, but her facial features, like her jaw, her nose, the way her eyes are placed in her skull, her what do you call it? Her brow ridge, all that. Like, is it all of that combined? Like, so at the end of the day, if you're just not attractive, you're just not attractive. It's just the way it is. It's just like, like, that's the way it is, man. I look at it like, for instance, when I look in the mirror, all I can do is try to better the way I look in any way possible, right? But I know that, like, there's a limit, and I also know that, like, there's just some people on this planet that there's just no way I could ever compete with them in any way, shape, or form, right? That's just how I look. That's just how I look at it. So you got to look at, if you're on a platform to where there's just some people out there that they will swoop in, they will grab your crap, they will repackage it, it will be liked by way more people, they are better looking than you, they may not be able to even dance as good as you, but they look better, they got a better following, like, not better following, but they have a bigger following, they are probably even sometimes older than you are, so I'll keep it real, you got dudes like me on there looking at these chicks that not that are underage, but the chicks that are, like, 18, older, and we're looking at them like, god damn. So, we're we're just sitting there looking gawking, thirsting. We're just thirsting. And then you got to understand, you also have all of these young teens that are in their, how do I say this, like, their sphere or whatever. They're in their little sphere and cliques and whatever, and they want to be like this person. They want to be like the what's her name, the that famous girl on there, Charlie D'Amelio in Dixie. They they want to be like that. They want to they want to do all of that, and they want to be like that. So you have to understand that they're going to have a following. I'm sorry, it is what it is. And like I said, people are fascinated by certain things, but it just depends on who's fascinated by what. Just like, for instance, if you get, like, young guys on TikTok, right? They probably look at other Caucasian, like, I'm talking about Caucasians again. They probably look at other Caucasian teens or kids, if they're even younger, in their, like, I don't know how to say it, margin or whatever, and they probably look and think, oh, you know what, some of these general white boys are just boring. And they're like, because this is, everyone thinks they're the special little thing. They're like, I'm not like all these other white boys. Nah, I'm like him. I'm like that guy over there. The guy over there that has so-called appropriated the black Negro's culture, supposedly. They're going to be like, nah, I'm like him. So then they're going to want to emulate him. Do they care that maybe his content or even his entire, like, personality was grafted? Or should I say grifted? was grafted off of Negroes? Do they care? No one cares. I don't even care. The thing is this, is that if they like what he's doing, they're going to try to emulate him, and then they're going to want to be part of his following. It's a sad cycle, but it's the truth, man. Look, I'm even guilty of it my own self. I know that every time that I put on some goth crap, right, or I dye my nails black or something, I know that crap did not come from us Negroes. I know that did not probably come or start from, maybe I could be wrong, but I don't think that started with Negro men. That didn't come from us Negroes. And we got that from the white people, man. We got that from white people. Those of us that want to be so dark and satanic like myself, that are Negroes, we do the same thing that white people do. We adopt their parts of their culture, right? We adopt parts of their culture. Even some of the darkest parts, like I said, like, Satanism, being a black magician, demonolatry, the occult. We want to understand that. We want to emulate that because we like that, right? So now all of us, not all, but now us Negroes. Well, not now, but we are oftentimes finding ourselves being very, very goth. It's like we are just very goth all of a sudden, right? Now it wasn't always like that, so I could say that is cultural appropriation. But see, the thing about me is I don't split hairs because okay, and this is gonna get a little dirty, but this is what I'm about on this channel. This channel is about getting what you want in life, having fun, and busting. That's like a Hodgson reference. Busting nuts! This channel is about busting nuts at the end of the day. Like, this channel is about that you have a life that's happy. You're with your girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, your fiance, future husband or wife. You're with the person that you're supposed to be with, and you are enjoying your life, busting all kinds of nuts. Right? Like, that's what this life is about. This life is not about splitting hairs and, they stole my culture and, it's like, look, stop it. Stop crying, stop crybabying, because no one cares. No one cares. No one cares about your tears. No one cares if you say, they said so-and-so, I almost don't want to mention her name, and I actually kind of like this person, but whatever, so-and-so got shot and they made fun of... Man, everybody makes fun of everybody. You got shot, they make fun of you. It's like, come on. Get hard. I always say, get hard. Stop being so soft with yourself. Like, you're too soft. You people are too soft, man. You're too soft. And you cannot thrive or survive. I mean, maybe you can thrive off of a victim mentality. Maybe you can make all your content on being a victim, but that's probably not going to work out for half of you people. And I also have to say that sometimes you have to see. This is. I'm going to cut it here. I'm actually going to cut it here. I know I'm going to get a whole bunch of crap for everything I said, but you know what? You know what? The honesty is real. Like, I'm just being honest. I'm telling you honest facts. You can laugh. You can say, "Oh, Steve, you're just a fool," or "Steve, you're the one that is a pervert, and you are the bigot, and you are this, and you're that, and you don't respect your black sisters, and you don't respect your race, or look." I don't respect my own. Okay, really, I don't respect my own race. Then you don't know me. So I don't respect. No, it's not that I don't. It's that I'm not buying. I don't buy your bullshit. You can't fool me. That's the difference between me and a lot of other people. Other people will listen to your BS and waste their time acknowledging your foolishness, but I will not acknowledge. I will not sit here and play along with your twisted, perverted little game. Because your sick little game is all about lies. There's no real truth in there, right? So I'm giving you the truth. What I'm saying is, look, you can't change this reality. Black woman, I'm sorry. Black woman mostly, because black men, I'll be real. Someone can talk as much crap as they want and say, "Oh, this girl said, oh, black men are the weakest link." Really, the weakest? Okay. Oh, all right, whatever. But if that's your opinion, that's your opinion. But I highly disagree with that. Now, what I want to say, the props I have to give to us as black men is, see, we tend to accept the truth more, and we tend to actually just try to work around reality. But with a lot of you black women, the problem is you don't want to work with reality. You rather would think that reality is going to change to how you want it to be. You think that you're going to change the entire world to fit your desired reality. And that is not going to happen. It just doesn't work like that. You have to just accept how things are and find what you actually can excel at. So don't be trying to play the supposed white girl TikTok's game Number one, if you don't have the looks to be playing that type of game, get out of that sector because you cannot survive in that sector. You don't thrive in that sector. That's the problem. You may thrive in another area. It would depend. It actually would depend on who you really are, because if you really, it just depends. It depends on how attractive you are, how talented, what you're creating, and who is your audience. That's what depends. But don't think that just because you created this astronomical, because it could be a good thing. I'm not saying your content isn't like a really good dance, or it's not a really good song, or it's not a thing that it's worthy of its people trying to emulate it. I'm not saying that, because it probably is. But the problem is this, is the vehicle that produced it, being yourself, you just probably don't even have what they're wanting to see. It's like, or maybe you do, because I could be wrong. Some of you, maybe you do. I don't know. But I would say this. I would say the few that actually really have the looks and all that, what they're looking for is what I mean. And by looking for, it's just that. It's you have to ask that question yourself. What are these people really looking for? Are they looking for, like, some young, basic-looking white chick? Not basic, but you know what I mean. Like, she basically has a typical attractive, or it could be just, because some of these girls, I'll be real, some of these girls are like really, really sexy. They're not just you're just average anything. Some of these girls could do a lot of things. Like, they could do Instagram, they could do the porn game if they wanted. They could do a lot of things. You know, they have certain looks. Some of these girls that are on TikTok, the thing is, that's what people are looking for. Sorry, but it's reality. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for you. They're not. Now, are a small amount looking for you? Yeah, there are. But is there the larger amount? No. So the problem is this. It's not, well, I will agree with you on this. You should never steal someone's content and not give them credit. I stand by that, because that's kind of like, anyone should know that. That's common sense. So shame on you people who are stealing content and you're not giving credit. You always give credit for something that I actually thought you're supposed to do that, but I'm not really too familiar with TikTok, honestly, because TikTok, I don't understand it too well. I never had much success with it, and I'm not angry that I don't have success with TikTok. I'm not angry about that. But the thing is this, is that TikTok, a lot of people are angry, and I'm sorry. Now, I'm probably seeing a tiny margin of those who have supposed cases, if you want to call them, in things that they have against TikTok because they felt they were wrong. But I'll also say that what I see is just a lot of crybaby Negroes. Just saying, I'm seeing a lot of you black people on here, men and women, and all I'm seeing is you're sitting up there being a little crybaby, because I don't see you hitting on the actual points, like the real points. Like, where's the point of, like, okay, well, you know that they are really not looking for you anyway. Like, that's not really what they're looking for. They may, like, for instance, they may want parts of your culture. Like, yeah, they may want to use your vernacular. Yeah, they may want to even steal your style. They may. It's like, I hate to say it. Look. If there are tears in your eyes right now, I'm sorry. I apologize, but look, I'm sorry, but I'm giving you the truth. I'm just saying, like, if you, because some people, you know, they'll be crying. They're like, well, then what can I do? In some situations, there's just nothing you can do. That's part of life. Part of life is just like, do you know how many times, I'll be real. I'll just keep it real. Do you know how many times as a man, this is shameful and sad, but this is the truth. Me as a strong, grown man, right? A black man. Do you know how many times I literally shed tears in the comfort of my own home because I've seen men with women, and I wanted to be the guy that had that woman so bad? Like, I'll be on the street and I literally have seen a guy with a woman, and I'm thinking, well, that guy there isn't even nothing special. And sometimes his wife is younger too, and I'm like, how does he doesn't, like, I don't know if he deserves it or not, but in my mind, I'm thinking, like, how does he have that, and how do I end up myself alone? Like, if I even had his finances, I'm thinking of how, like, I would probably be much more fun. I'm in better shape. I sometimes have a better looking face, even a better body than some men. I'm like, I don't know. But hey, it is what it is, right? Like, I have to find my woman. That he already has his one, right? Now, I've literally went through depression. I've sat there and literally cried. You know what I mean? Like, not like a hysterical crazy cry, but just, tears eventually started to literally come down my face because I was just so angry and so depressed at my situation. But this is the thing, right? You have to realize that, like, this world is not your fantasy. This is not, I mean, it can be depending on how you play your cards, but the real point is, generally, this world is not a fun, happy-go-lucky kumbaya fantasy. Like, this is not like that. So you realize that, like, if you want something, you're going to have to find a way to get it. You know what I mean? Like, so, and maybe you may never be able to get it. You just maybe not even able to ever get whatever you're trying to, like, think you're going to get. So if you're born, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this, and someone's going to say, "Oh, you are so shallow, Steve. You are all talking about sex and talking about looks and." Oh, okay. Okay, if that's your stance, I can't explain it again. I've wasted my breath enough. So, but what I'm trying to say is this, man. People want to see things. You got to understand, TikTok is all psychological and visual. It's visual and psychological. People want to see things because they want a certain emotion. People want to see things because maybe they want to learn, and then they want to try to make their own content. Right? They want to learn things, and then they want to try to make their own content. So they a lot of times search and look at things so they think, hey, I look better than her. Especially girls. Like, they'll be like, I look better than her. I look better than her. There could be, right now, and I'm keeping this real, right? I'll just be real, because you don't know. How do you not know that there is a girl out there that has Miss, what's her name? Is it Charlie? Miss Charlie D'Amelio, whatever you say, Charlie D'Amelio's gorgeous face, and then has a body that is like 3 times better. Not more, maybe even like 5 times better, and thick too. How do you not? You don't know. How you don't know? How would you know? And who knows? Maybe she even had her own money already. Not saying she's rich, but maybe she had like her own money. And maybe she's just been studying. She's just been seeing, like, okay, so this is how they talk. This is how these people dance on this thing. This is how they dress. This is how the system works. This is how the algorithm works. And maybe she's deciding that maybe she's not even going to do TikTok as her primary thing. Maybe she's looking into, like, I don't know, being on Instagram or some type of film or something. And then maybe she wants to put TikTok on as like a topping. And she thinks, oh, actually, because could you imagine if your face looked like a celebrity, popular type of, like, person? Like, you could, or if you looked better and your body looked better or something, you'd be like, oh yeah, I could, what's the word? I could compete. That's the word, compete. They'd be like, oh yeah, I could compete with her. Yeah, I could compete. I may not have this exact like image, or I may not have this exact like following, but I bet you I could compete with her because I have those type of looks. It's that simple. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's a huge part of all of this. Is looks is a huge part of it. So you gotta realize that when you are already an acquired taste, supposedly. You are already an acquired taste. You are already probably the last thing at the table that they want. You most likely will not be able to compete. You may get some views now. You may get some views, you may get some likes, you may get a following, but I'm telling you, it's just all what people want. Now, I'll say this: if people were so sexually attracted and so fascinated by Negroes, then it would be a different story. Then we would be killing it. If that was the case, we would be ruling on TikTok. But that's not the case, right? The case is that we are a subsect, we are a throwback, and we are a acquired taste, if anything, and we just happen to sometimes be on a platform. Duh. I mean, don't you think that's why it's like black this, black that? You notice how it has to be like a separate, you know what I mean? It's just like a separate sect. It's not like, you know, I'm not saying this to be racist, but someone may take this as racist. It's not like, you know, when you see the Caucasians on any platform, you're just like, okay, yeah, that's a platform, you know. It's like they're that's why they call us minorities, man. Because I mean, think of it. We're the minority to the majority. It's like, yeah, you got the streamlined Caucasian, which is basically, you know, he's like the modern streamline. You know, not saying he or she is like the pinnacle of human evolution. I'm not really going quite there saying that. But what I'm saying is that we all know it's like, okay, we get it. All right, we see you. Okay. We already know. You generally, it's Caucasians in the movie, it's Caucasian on the screen, it's Caucasian on the video game, it's cally, caulky. It's Caucasians all over. It's Caucasian everywhere. It's like, okay, yeah, we get it. All right. Okay. We already know we're at a disadvantage, probably, most likely. We're like, okay, we already know we're pushing a rock up a hill already. So it's just like that's my mentality. My mentality is like, all right, I already see what I have to compete with already, so I'm not gonna play games and be on no BS and say it's like, oh, you know, I feel wronged and no, I don't feel anything. What I feel is I know that I have been dealt some sad Negro cards. Like, hey, I was born black. It is what it is. Like, okay, all right. I already know that I have to compete with this monster of a I already know I have to compete with these monsters. This monster that they call the Caucasian male. I already know I have to compete with him. I already know that. And I know I'm probably going to lose. But because I actually value myself and actually want things in life, I'll just keep fighting and just keep trying to figure how I can get what I want, right? That's kind of how it works. At the end of the day, you get what you want, you enjoy your life, you bust your nuts, and you slam your door shut to strangers that don't mean nothing. That just, you know, that are just annoying you. That's how life works, right? And then you can sit proudly on your throne and be like, I feel sorry for that other guy or that guy or that girl, right? That's what this is about. That's what this channel is about, right? So, look, I'm sorry, man. I never am going to say that, like, oh, the black woman's pain is funny. It's not, no, I'm not saying anyone's pain is funny. I'm not saying that any of that's funny. I'm not saying that, oh, it's you get what you deserve. You should have never got on TikTok. No, I'm not saying that either. What I'm saying is, this is, like I said before when I started this rant, that has been like a dang hour something long. My whole point was this. My whole point was that I'm giving you a different perspective to see things, right? I'm giving you the way I see things. This is the way I see things. Now, could I be completely 100% like way off somehow? Maybe. I don't know. I wouldn't say yes, but I say maybe. I don't know everything. I'm man enough to admit that I don't know everything. But do I think that I may be onto something? Yeah, I think I'm onto something. You know, I think everything I said in this entire, I think I'm really onto something, right? And I think what the real issue is, that the issue simply is this. The issue is that us as Negroes, not saying a collective, individually, I'm saying. The problem with us individually is if you haven't found success in your platform or something, it simply means that you have not placed yourself in the right atmosphere that what they are demanding, you being the demand, is the higher or highest or marginally high demand. That's what I'm trying to say. You would have had to place yourself in a supposed niche, I hate to use that word, but that's what they call it, something to where somehow your brand of whatever it is what they are demanding. Now, if you go on TikTok, I'm sorry, but I'm going to keep it real. If you get your black ass on TikTok and think that that is the demand, you are sadly mistaken, because that is not the demand, my friend. I don't care what they say. I don't care how many people feed you blue pill dreams and say, "Oh, you are awesome. Oh, you're wonderful, sweetie. You're awesome." I don't know. Is that your girlfriends that say that? Your guy friends? Your gay friends? Who's telling you that? Maybe they're right, but my thing is this: it doesn't work like that. Okay, they can say what they want, but they're feeding you little blue pills. What they don't tell you is look, man. I'm gonna have to say this because this is the actual true story, right? Before I really close. So I was sitting there with two people. It was three people total, and these two people, the male, he said, "Oh, does she not know that she might make TikToks, but there's more attractive, fit, sexy white girls on there that can do that actually better? Nobody's gonna watch her TikTok." And I'm sorry, but I know the girl he's talking about, and I said the same thing. I was like, yeah, nobody's gonna want to watch her TikTok, because I'm gonna keep it real. This girl he's talking about, she ugly. I'm sorry, but realistically, she's ugly. So that is not her. I'm sorry, that is not her niche. Now, I will say there are some ugly people on TikTok. I've seen some ugly women, and these women are Caucasian, but they're ugly Caucasian women. They're gross, and they kind of seem to have quite a following, but that's rare, and that's more of like a rarity. That's more of like a freak show thing. Like, they're looking at you because you're so weird and ugly looking. Now, that's another thing. But my point is this, and I'll say it again. I would not get up on TikTok having high expectations that any content I made would be of like huge significance in comparison to certain people, especially of Caucasian, Caucasian descent or whatever you want to call it, race, whatever. I would never kid myself to think that from the start. Just saying. I'm just saying. Because I just know how looks play such a huge role. I just know how that works. Looks play a huge role in social media, so I would never kid myself to think that. I've never kid myself. Even if I had like an unnatural ability to do a certain thing, like a talent, like let's say if it was juggling or something, and I could juggle chainsaws and all this crazy, I would still think that maybe if there was a guy that was like it would have to weigh itself out. It would be like if he was super attractive and he sort of barely had the juggling skills I had, or even maybe even partly close, I would assume he would have a bigger following. I'm just saying that, and he wouldn't have to be that he wasn't also black. Because if he was, what I'm trying to say, if he was also black and he just had this certain like looks going for him, I would assume he would have a bigger following. Because at the end of the day, the point is, people don't want to learn things from TikTok. People don't want to learn tutorials from TikTok. People don't even want to really hear good singing or see good dancing from TikTok. They want to be sexually stimulated. They also want to have this air of like, oh, we're trending and we're cool and we're hip hop and we're the trending, we're cool. You know what I mean? So, so they just want to be cool, and they're just fascinated with people that they feel they vibe with on this level, where they feel like oh, he or she is just so cool. Oh, they're so interesting. They're not like all the boring. Sorry, I'm not trying to be racist, but this is real. They're like, oh, they're not like all the boring little white girls that I grew up with, or the boring white boys, or the boring white kids that are in my school. These people live in a small town, and all they talk about is the the soccer practice that they go to, and their dad fishing and this and that, and then they see all of this shit. Oh, it's cat's out the bag, cursing. Then they see all of this black vernacular and trends and styles and hair and all of this crap that we just like to just throw around. That it's so I look at it like this, to the point. I look at it like this. At this point, I'm not saying that the world is racially, what's the word they always use? Ambiguous or whatever. I don't even know what fancy word they use, but it's not that everyone is everything, but it's now that just like everyone has been influenced or wants to jump on someone's culture or something. So it doesn't bother me, nor does it surprise me at this point. And I'll also say, in actually closing, because I know I'm talking too much, at the end of the day, you just have to just accept what is and then try to work. But one thing I don't believe in is, I don't believe in all this, like, we're going to strike. We're going to have a Negro uprising. You're there. Look, there is no uprising, bro. The only uprising that you will see is people that have big followings, big views, big money, and for whatever reason, people just like looking at them, people like their content, so that's why they have it. Whether they're Negro, this, that, or whatever. That's how that works. It's not, no one ever, have you ever seen any of these so-called like strikes, uprising, insurrections? Has that shit ever worked? I'm sorry, but does that ever get you what you actually want at the end of the day? No. If anything, all you're doing is wasting time striking when you could be plotting, trying to find new outlets, trying to find how to make some other type of content, which, I'm sorry, probably will fail, but I'm sorry, I just feel like it's beneath so many of us to do this whole crybaby token black thing, like, oh, I was wronged because I'm black and I was a creator. Look, nah, man. Nah. If you failed some way or other because you were black, it was kind of out of your control. If it makes you feel better, it's simply out of your control. It's not because someone's plotting against you or someone's scheming against you at a top level in a god dang pretty much kid to teen app geared for teens and kids mostly, even though some of us adults are on there. It's not because of that. It's because generally people wanted to see something. You just weren't bringing what they really wanted, so they didn't give you the views. Sorry, they didn't give you the likes. They took your crap like a-holes and didn't give you the credit, because people are a-holes, man. If you haven't noticed, I've said all I could say, man. This is Steve's Art and Fun channel. I think, what is it? It's Chaos Luster on the Instagram, and on TikTok it's Dogman Stevie, and it's Steve's Art and Fun on YouTube. So there you go. I'd appreciate it if you did like, you did sub, you did share this vid, and look, don't waste my time if you're gonna say all of this stuff, like saying, oh, you're an Uncle Tom, and you're a coon, and you're on their side, you're on their side. Look, look, this is not a race war. We are not trying to divide. We are not trying to divide blacks and whites and make this into some type of black-white competition race war. We are going to uprise. That's not what we're doing.
So if you're gonna say all of that, then whatever. I mean, I guess you're gonna say what you're gonna say. You're gonna comment if you want to comment, if you even watch this. But I'm just trying to, I'm trying to give people different type of outlets, because I feel like I don't see anyone saying what I'm saying right now. How come I don't see that on the internet? Are you not saying this because you're scared? Is that what it is? Are you not saying it because you're not black? Is it that you know this is true, but you're too scared to say it because you're not black, so you feel like a black person has to say it? Well, then I guess I'm the black person that's saying. So, hey, this is the rant. And this is your host, Steve from the back, and have a nice day.